And we're live! Here we go, guys. Before anything, I'd like to welcome him, since some people are iffy.
All welcome.
The current
Everyone applaud as I rise. No,
reigning, defending GCF SoCal heavyweight champion of the world, Chris Cadillac.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I enjoy being on this show as much as possible because I'm usually the only entertaining thing on it. So let's enjoy ourselves tonight, huh? Let's talk some wrestling and talk some rap.
Let's do that. All right, Hollywood, take it away. Wide world of wrestling.
Let's jump right into it, my boys. First off, there's rumors going around that Undertaker's match for WrestleMania is already planned, and it seems like he's going to be facing AJ Styles at this year's WrestleMania, the Phenom versus the Phenomenal One. This is the match that the Undertaker picked himself because he views AJ Styles as the closest wrestler to a Shawn Michaels. Also, another safe wrestler. He feels like AJ can carry him in a match, unlike anybody else in the roster, which I think is true as well. So it's looking like we're getting a
Seth
Taker.
Can't carry anybody?
No, he can't.
I mean, you could ask Sting that one. It looks like we're getting AJ versus Taker.
Let me ask Rossi if Seth can carry anybody.
Good. I would say that's probably the most exciting Taker match that I've been excited for in like a decade.
Yeah.
So.
And it better be his last one because, I mean, leave it off on a high note.
That for a decade. And nothing, no ill
What else can you
will
do
about
after
that,
this?
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, he's got like 4 more Saudi checks coming after.
I mean, yes.
That's a good point.
All that's left for him is one more biker run, and if he wasn't going to do that after the first time he lost, then he certainly shouldn't do it now.
yeah.
He could have gotten even more longevity out of that when he lost the first time. Should have reverted back to biker. And he could have gotten a little better.
Or even could have done the biker when he fought Cena that one time at WrestleMania. Could have returned that way as well. This should be the last one. I just don't see how he could do another one off of this. AJ's going to carry him in this match. He's going to give him a really decent matchup in this Mania match. It's just like, where do you go after this? Obviously, the Sting match is always going to be there. I just don't think it's going to happen no matter how many stem cell shots Sting takes, and he's trying to take all of them at the moment. I don't think it's just going to happen. I think this should be the final Undertaker match. It is interesting though because AJ, the plan was for him to face Edge originally. That was the original plan.
That would be so much
Yeah.
better.
But that's the thing. We can get that still.
Yeah.
What are you saying for, RJ? Come on. Do you really want to see an old man just be carried by AJ Styles?
Well,
Come on.
I'd rather see.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Taker fan.
Yeah, me
You guys
too.
talking about him coming back biker? No, I want purple gloves, purple.
That would be great.
No, legit.
That would be
That's
great,
what
yeah.
I want.
Okay,
If
that
it's
would
his
be
last
cool.
match, I do agree with that. Yeah,
I
I
would
want
love
some
that.
type of hybrid of everything.
But he's
still.
got to fight Hogan if he's
Yeah,
doing that.
Purple leather
He's
pants.
got to go
Yeah.
against Hogan.
His bike is purple.
But I just,
Or Kane has to come back one
No.
more time as old
No.
Kane.
No, thank you.
I just feel like
Kane, more out is welcome.
this is gonna be one of those things that ends up later on a WWE produced AJ DVD. Where
Yeah.
he's still bitter and bitter at them for no reason. He's gonna say, "I did this to as a favor for them."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
like, there's
essentially
It
no
is.
that
It is a
reason to
favor.
have that
moment.
match.
It is a favor because this is
There's-
coming from the Undertaker. He's asking for this match.
Oh,
AJ's
there-
pretty
well,
much
then there
being
you
forced
go.
into this.
Well, then there you
Yeah.
go. Like that. Like why? Like
Well, all that's left for Taker at this point is to pick his favorites. I mean, he's too.
no. What's
He's
left for
too
him
up
is to
there
hang
to-
it up. I hate saying that, but
Or
leave.
get a producer job at AEW.
Get while the getting is
Everybody's
good.
getting
The
that
vice
offer.
president role.
Bounce. I'm sorry, I love Taker so much, but bounce, like, dude,
Yeah.
like,
This is probably an
Understand.
apology also for making Taker face Goldberg. So they're just like, now you can pick whoever you want
Yes.
because we forced you to face
Your
Goldberg.
opponent's
That's another
now
point.
qualified.
like, if you can't have a match without getting injured, hey, maybe no more.
And
But
yeah,
like you said, Hollywood, I really hope this is the last one.
I do too. Like, end it on a high note. You can't have a match with anybody else unless you're gonna go to AEW and be Mark Calloway and face Kenny Omega. Like, there's nothing else for you to do. This is it.
He goes,
You know what I
"You
mean?
Mark?" Oh,
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to do? In other news, though, it's being also reported that Vince McMahon is no longer showing up to shows recently. He'll show up for half of Raw, and he hasn't showed up to a SmackDown at all in the last year.
I didn't know he went to a SmackDown.
That too. Well, that's why he has Bruce Pritchard and he fired Bischoff. But Vince is not showing up anymore.
Fired Bischoff because Bischoff wasn't doing anything.
True.
With his time.
But Vince is starting to like lay low, focus more on the XFL. I don't know if any of you guys have watched it.
XFL's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
XFL's
it's gotten some
pretty
good
interesting.
viewerships too. So I mean,
Yeah, but the first one did in the first month too.
yeah, true.
I'd rather
No, but
watch
this is
Star.
actually really good
And
quality
then
football.
give it another month before he starts taking you into the girls' locker room again and making the referees get into a fight with a player and shit like that. It's still a joke. The XFL, there's no way of not making it a joke because we all remember what it was. If he wanted to do it right, he probably should have renamed the entire thing and been a silent owner.
No, I think he could do it. I think he could do it well this time. I mean, the first time around, the NFL was still at its peak. You know, like that game was still wholesome. But now, like, the NFL is kind of shit, and like it's kind of like a circus now. So I mean, why not almost give you a parody of the NFL with the XFL?
But it also comes down to the players too. The XFL doesn't have a star at all whatsoever. So yeah, it's
Say
gonna
Matt
get.
McGloin's not a star.
Matt McGloin is not a
that
star.
boy,
Okay.
that boy carried the Raiders for a little bit.
Don't start with me with that shit. So, hey, look, anyways, the XFL doesn't have a star. And
Carrying the
it's-
Raiders?
I know.
Are you serious?
Nobody has carried us for like 20 years now.
Carrying the Raiders.
The whole thing with XFL, it's like, yeah, people are going to watch it for now. You know, it's the new hot thing. Everybody wants to check in on it. Give it a few weeks, and I guarantee you the ratings are going to start plummeting. They're already saying he's going to lose $25 million in this investment.
Oh,
That's already
absolutely.
projected to happen,
Like
even
they
with the
signed
last
Johnny
2 weeks.
For the
Manziel,
second time.
For the second.
Like, that's the suckiest part. Like, you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
No, he just loves listening. But anyways, Vince is starting to take a step back. He's not showing up to shows all that much anymore. And
That's kind of scary, though. But, like, maybe it's not for just those
Well,
reasons. Maybe it could be for health reasons. Like, he's...
And why that's even
It is up
scarier
there,
is
yeah.
the fact that he fired his presidents.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is no contingency plan right now. Yeah, we can all sit here and go, oh, Hunter and Steph, but it's not
Just them,
legally
yeah.
them. They have no plan right now.
And they're also thinking of selling the pay-per-views to another streaming service.
Yeah.
So the pay-per-views might not even be on the network. There's a lot of
From what I
weird
heard-
movement
from what I
going
heard,
on
it's
right
only
now.
the big four. It's only the big
Yeah.
four people.
Well, what's my incentive to pay for the network if
Exactly.
you don't get
Yeah.
paid for?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
That's
weird
gonna
movement
plummet
going on
as well.
right now with
To
WWE.
watch the Saudi Arabia shows and
Saudi shows.
UK and wrestling from the 80s and ECW.
We can keep going and going.
RJ's trying to make valid points, but we're just
To
laughing.
keep the
know.
network? I don't know, man. In other news, Shelton Benjamin has signed a new multi-year contract with the WWE, but he was also complaining that he's not being used properly, which I'm like, why would you resign then? But
Because of money. He's
Yeah.
coasting.
Yeah.
He's had his run. He knows he's up there in age.
he could have gotten a producer role with AEW. He should have just waited.
Not every wrestler wants to be a fucking producer. Not everyone wants to be a vice president of a company.
I mean,
It's not always worth your time, especially with AEW when there's 18 other ones.
And like you said, he's taking the comfortable contract, staying there. I wish they would just put him with
Now,
Heyman
in
and Brock.
contrast to that, I hope Matt takes the vice president.
And
role.
with we'll probably see that eventually happen. But yeah, Shelton Benjamin's gonna be sticking around. You probably just won't see him all that much,
I was-
but you'll be there.
I mean,
so.
he would be an excellent trainer. He's great. He really is.
Yeah.
So he has a lot to contribute. But if they're not going to use him, then yeah, take the money and transfer into an NXT trainer.
I love him to death, but I honestly forgot he was still in the WWE until it came on.
Yeah, the last time we saw him was the Rumble.
Well,
Yeah.
because even when they give him, and they don't give him enough time, don't get me wrong, but when they give him time, he doesn't do anything that people remember him doing.
Right.
There's no dragon whip anymore. There's not even a stinger splash, really.
yeah,
He doesn't do what
most of
brought
his
him
own
to the
stuff
dance.
anymore, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much they just have him on the shelf to use for nostalgia, pretty much at this
They just
point.
don't want no one else to have him. That's it.
Yeah, at that
I mean,
point,
that's-
he's taking
I
the
mean-
comfortable deal.
That's their mindset for everyone right now.
Yeah.
As long as AEW doesn't get them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing. That's what the Clippers are doing to the Lakers too. Anyways, former UFC champion
why.
Tito Ortiz is training with the WWE at this moment. They're
Once
filling
again,
each other out right now. They're in contract negotiations, but it's looking that Tito Ortiz will be
Feeling
signing.
what out? We don't need Tito Ortiz.
First match is against Jenna James.
I didn't like him in TNA. I didn't, pretty much after Shamrock's little brother kicked his ass in fighting, I don't need to see him anymore.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how that plays off. Tito, though, he's interested in signing WWE. He's interested for whatever reason, but I mean, like I've said,
It's
WWE.
every MMA's fighters back.
Everyone, yeah, they
Well,
want.
it makes sense.
makes
I
sense.
just don't like it.
Yeah, and they're gonna make runs eventually at guys like Connor and John Jones
Oh,
when they
Chuck
eventually. Chuck Liddell, it's hard, too much CTE to wrestle right now. We talked about this last week about the WWE Hall of Fame. Well, it's looking like the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith will be inducted into this year's
I
WWE
said it. I
Hall of
screamed
Fame.
it at the camera last week,
Yeah.
and then they announced it. So you're all welcome again.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette too.
So yeah, that will be happening this year, and also JBL will also be inducted into this year's WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay.
No.
You know,
Well, I have a question for you guys because I want to get you guys' response because I saw this on social media.
Is JBL racist? Yes.
Well, we'll get to that.
I wouldn't say racist. Is he a bully? Absolutely.
Oh
Is he
yeah,
a
that too.
pompous asshole? Yes.
Out of these three guys, who was the better heel during the Ruthless Aggression era? JBL, Triple H, Kurt Angle. I don't know, man. JBL was the first MAGA
Okay,
supporter.
you have a point. You have a point,
JBL
Logan,
was
you
the
have a
most
point.
reinventive wrestler in
Yeah.
the Ruthless Aggression era. That man did a total 180 from Bradshaw that everyone loved. And so I'll give him that. He held the
Twice. He did it twice.
Yeah.
You remember Justin Hawk Bradshaw?
Justin Hawk
No, I'm
Bradshaw.
dead
Yeah,
serious.
no,
I'm
you're
dead
right.
serious.
You're right.
He had steam behind him when he was Justin Hawk Bradshaw. And then what was the guy, Freddie Joe Floyd, that actually pinned him and it was a big deal?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But no, Justin like he did it twice. He did Justin Hawk Bradshaw, just turned straight up into Blackjack
Blackjack
Bradshaw,
Bradshaw.
and then the Bradshaw we all know and love from the Acolytes, and then to
APA
the guy with the beef music. None of you thought that whenever his music played. Beef, it's what's for dinner. You don't remember that? I'm old. I'm just dating myself.
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't do.
Well, let's talk about all three of those.
like that.
The most easiest, sadly, to forget of those three would be Kurt. Kurt's at the bottom because while he definitely carried quite a lot through this aggression,
Yeah.
Triple H had evolution throughout that, literally throughout the entirety, which is why he got old.
Yeah.
But JBL reinvented himself. He had the cabinet. Granted, none of the members of the cabinet went on to do anything.
Orlando Jones.
I mean,
But
Orlando
none
Jordan
of,
did some things.
See, the thing, the thing about Kurt is like, depending who he was gonna wrestle, you didn't know which heel Kurt you were gonna get.
Yeah.
If you were gonna get the goofy, like, hey, don't take my wig off, heel Kurt,
Right.
or if you're gonna get the serious, I'm gonna take my
Molest
hands
your
up
wife.
as I'm gonna
Well,
kick your ass, Eddie
Jesus
versus
Christ.
Eddie Guerrero.
I was
going
going to bring that up. You also have
Yeah.
the stalker Kurt Angle
Yeah.
stalking
Right.
Booker's wife everywhere.
Now, and again, and maybe it's because I grew up with this. Attitude Era was easy to dub when it happened. Where does the Ruthless Aggression cutoff take place? This is a real question.
2002, right?
night he said it.
I would say
So,
2002.
right. So we know when it started. When did it end?
The second Stone Cold left to like 2007.
7?
I would say so.
Okay. That's a real question. I
Yeah.
didn't know when Ruthless Aggression
Wait,
ended.
when's the
That's
cutoff?
That is a very
Yeah.
good question. That's a very good question.
For me, it would be JBL, man, because like I was in junior high and that dude was having promos of like hunting Mexicans at the border.
That was
like
was
at
bold.
13
The
years
man
old,
called Rey Mysterio a Mexican jumping bean.
dude. Like his rivalry
The
with
shit
Eddie.
that
That
you
was
got
bad.
away with.
That was bad.
King said stupid shit like that all the time. Though.
Yeah, but King
But
didn't
King
do it
is
with,
just
with
an idiot.
Did
any
he just
type
recently
of.
call Humberto Carrillo that? Exactly?
Did he?
He just recently called him
I
that.
think.
I
Did
think
he?
he did.
I would
He
like
did.
to think he'd be fired
I would
now if he
believe it.
did, but
You can't cancel King. Shit.
But with the JBL thing, it was just
Should
like
be able
so weird to see it. Like, it was just-
Real quick, we have a comment from TJ Suave.
Hey, TJ.
Really like this one. Saint is rocking the Chuck Liddell haircut.
all right.
Oh, nice. Iceman,
All right.
Iceman Saint.
Oh damn. Why you do that to you, man?
Thank you, TJ.
Why you do that to you?
Thank you, Deshaun, behind the microphone. The microphone? The
Macro?
microphone.
Which is like a
Macklemore?
microphone,
Which is
except
live.
for
The Mac Daddy Mike.
Friend of the Mac.
All right, Tej. Always good to hear from you.
Yeah, so my vote would be JBL. Triple H was more like of an old school type of heel where it's like you hated him because he kept getting away with the wins. JBL was like,
I also
he
like
gave
Tej's
Eddie's grandma a
comment.
freaking heart attack in the ring as well. There's all those moments too. There's
Tej also says let Blue Meanie induct JBL into the Hall of Fame.
I hope.
Why not?
If you're not old enough to watch that, I highly suggest going back and watching the beat down during One Night Stand. That
yeah.
RJ, did you make your vote?
Yeah, Triple H.
Triple H?
I mean, he lasted, longevity-wise, but he got stale during the Ruthless Aggression era as well. So,
For the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
because I guess at that time on Raw too, like his main feud was against Shawn most of those years, and then
Shawn Goldberg, Nash.
Shawn Goldberg, Nash. And then Evolution started to turn on him, so he didn't really have much to work
He had the
with.
super lackluster
Benoit,
Steiner
Randy.
feud.
Yeah, the Steiner one.
Oh man, I
The
tried
The
to
pose
get that.
off. Yeah.
They
pose
tried
off,
so
all that
hard to
shit.
make Steiner a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I would say JBL had better feuds.
The heat for
In his
JBL was
run.
way bigger, I
Yeah.
think,
True.
than for Hunter. In other news, both the U.S. Bank Arena and the Heritage Bank Arena have banned AEW due to their ties with the WWE. So if you're around that area, don't expect AEW to go there. They tried, and they have been
city
officially
was it?
banned in Cleveland. So.
I mean, nothing we haven't seen
just
before.
fuck
Madison Square
Cleveland.
Garden booted Ring of Honor for
Yeah.
quite some time.
So yeah, I mean, this
WWE's
happens.
got pole. What do you think? You know,
That's awesome.
They got pulled in Cleveland. That's great.
I don't know.
And-
There's a reason LeBron left. According to reports, Matt Riddle should have been on the main roster by now, but due to backstage and locker room heat, it's the reason why he's still in NXT. Also, apparently, Brock Lesnar has gone into the ear of Vince McMahon, and Vince now views Matt Riddle as an outside type of guy. It doesn't help that Riddle is also
Leave that on.
threatened.
Sorry.
It's also being mentioned that Riddle has threatened that if he is called up and he isn't used, that he'll just quit the company, just like he quit UFC and Bellator. So
the best thing for Matt Riddle is to stay on NXT.
yeah,
Absolutely underneath Triple H, not underneath Vince. And if you wanted proof of that, they literally Triple H held a Q&A where they asked him his opinion. He said Matt Riddle's doing exactly what he needs to be. And they said, "What about Vince?" He goes, "Vince isn't in charge of NXT. Matt Riddle's doing exactly what he needs."
yeah.
He's allowing him to continue calling out Brock, proving that Triple H doesn't care. Because
Absolutely
if you're
not,
on the
yeah.
NXT brand, you're there. You don't need to mess with the main roster, and you don't care about the main
And
roster.
it's a blessing in disguise for Riddle. Like
Yeah.
I would love to just stay on NXT, but Vince is not a fan, so that's actually pretty great news for him personally moving forward. In other news, Chris Bay has signed with Impact. He was being
I love
heavily
Chris Bay.
targeted by Cody and AEW. They had offered him multiple contracts that he kept turning down. And on the day that Cody had a conference call with multiple reporters, he did mention that he was pushing to sign Chris Bay that day. Fast forward 6 hours later, Impact announces that they have officially signed him to a contract.
Yeah, that's funny. That
Yeah.
was-
You think Chris Bay had him on both lines? Just kind of like, hey,
I think he was playing his cards right. I think he
They're
was
like,
just
"Yo, Chris Bay,
negotiating.
we'll make you an EVP."
We'll be a producer back here.
You know.
I mean, yeah, absolutely great for him.
Yeah.
Great talent.
Yeah. Oh,
keep it
man.
down over there.
He's dope, man. I like that guy.
Maria Manic is another wrestler who is bringing up Ring of Honor's terrible medical team because she is suffering a concussion as well due to a powerbomb that she took from Bully Ray. Now, she's pissed off that Ring of Honor hasn't reached out to her, and also Bully Ray never even checked on her or made sure she was okay after taking the powerbomb. She mentions that Bully Ray is pretty much just going wild in the ROH locker room because he's losing power as each day passes through. He's pissed off at Marty. He pretty much doesn't care, and they're trying to figure out a way to get rid of him, but it's looking like it's getting pretty difficult to get rid of Bully Ray. 'cause
You
he's
gave
just-
him too much power
Yeah.
for some
He's
idiot
going
that should have
rogue,
never been
having
granted any power.
at this point. Yeah. That's what it's looking like. He's just playing. He's trying to push people.
You can't. Yeah. Nothing good to say about him.
Yeah, and Ring of Honor just has a mess right now. 'Cause it's,
The shade.
I mean, yeah, I've got nothing good to say
Okay,
about
yeah.
Bully.
Yeah.
That's about it. Bully Ray doesn't deserve to be anywhere. So
yeah. So it's looking like things are still messy over there in ROH. Marty's trying his best, but good luck, bro. Rumor is that John Cena's opponent for this year's WrestleMania will be Elias, which a lot of people are not excited about.
What?
But I guess that's the payoff from last year's
How is it a
moment.
payoff if Elias is suddenly the good guy playing guitar that everyone cheers for now? So is Cena coming out as a heel? I would love that.
Like Doctor Thugonomics here.
Personally, Elias does absolutely nothing for me. He's
Yeah,
not
not
talented in the
anymore.
ring. He picks up a guitar, plays it, and everyone cheers, and that's what's over, is the gimmick and not anything that he does in that ring. Since day one, I've said that. He's boring. He's boring.
I feel like every few years we need a new Jeff Jarrett and someone just swings. Someone that swings a guitar. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
that's got to be someone's gimmick every few years.
Yeah.
And like it sucks because Elias he has potential to draw you in, but like in the ring with his in-ring work. But like I don't know, man.
No, and I said I couldn't get him over either, but I would have just stuck him with a Macho Man gimmick. Looking at him, dress him up like Savage, go out there.
He should
get
be
over.
the one that's like praising Seth Rollins or whatever. Like him and Buddy should switch.
No,
he
that's
looks
a
like
Buddy.
I
Seth's
think
like
Buddy's
older
perfect.
brother.
Yeah,
think,
Buddy's
yeah,
perfect.
we're-
Elias will just be singing every week, and it'll just make it worse than it
He'd
already
be
is.
singing for Seth. Like Seth can have a choir.
Doesn't need to be serenaded.
He looks more like Jesus than Seth. You know what I mean? So everyone call him that.
I feel like if that happened, we'd end up with another Rusev Day issue.
That's fine.
And
Rusev Day was good.
No, Rusev thing was good, but it
Was,
didn't get
though.
over because Vince didn't let it go over.
Yeah, if it's not a Vince
If
creation, then yeah, it's
anything
never
that
going to
gets
get
over
the pull.
organically isn't going to get over.
A lot of people are upset with this rumor, though, but it's still up in the air. I mean, we have to see what happens in the Goldberg-Bray match because that's still something
Injury,
that's...
hopefully.
Yeah, they're still considering giving Goldberg the belt, which would
No,
then
they're
lead...
not.
They
Don't say
are.
that.
No, they are. They are, unfortunately. They are.
Just to get a spear off between Roman and
Roman,
Goldberg.
and then
They
you
should
would...
give
that-
him. They should give him
if
the
that
ugly.
happens,
They
make
should
that
give him
the
the
main
ugly
event,
one
so
though.
at
They
least
shouldn't
Mania
even
can
give him
end
the
early
blue
for
one.
me.
There's like 4 different scenarios on the table right now. One is Goldberg Roman at WrestleMania. Another one is Bryan Bray Roman triple threat for the title. Another one, Bryan Bray Roman for a triple threat match for the title. Another one is Cena Bray in some gimmick match. It's all up in the air. But if they do pull the trigger on Goldberg winning that belt, then you'll probably see Bray Cena. That's what it's looking like.
Been done.
You ever
Yeah.
get another dope Brock Bray match?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, in the way they just don't want Roman to get booed, so that's what they're trying to figure out at the moment.
You can't. If you haven't solved that by now, you're not going to solve it.
Roman
you never,
gets booed
you
in
never
Saudi
solved
Arabia.
the Cena situation, and Cena actually had more talent than Roman. I said it, but you didn't solve that problem. You just
Yeah.
have to come to terms that kids are going to cheer him, everyone else is going to boo him because you've shoved him down everyone's throats for so long. They're sick of
Yeah,
it.
the damage is already done. Like, I mean, they would probably cheer though if he beat Goldberg.
Like just because we
It would get a
hated
pop,
Baron
but-
Corbin more than we hated Roman does not mean
Yeah, no.
we're gonna cheer him winning the belt from Gold. No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
Yeah,
work.
we'll see how that plays out. That Saudi show's going to be a complete mess, so they'll
They
figure it out.
usually are.
Yeah. AEW tonight introduced their own figure line, so there's going to be AEW toys coming out pretty soon. They actually look really good. So AEW getting their own figure line they announced today, and also in other AEW news, Austin Aries may be nearing a deal with All Elite Wrestling. He was seen backstage tonight with Cody in a producer
In a
chair. I
producer?
shit you not. No, I'm not kidding. He was I'm not kidding. He was in a producer chair working with Cody and Khan.
What's your
Oh
take on
my
Austin
God.
Aries in general?
Fitted for his headset. Just-
I'm happy.
They offered this to
I'm happy
everybody.
for him. I'm happy for him. He's burned his bridge with the other company, so
Yeah.
might as well try this one too. I mean,
Yeah.
make
Yeah, I
your
don't-
money, man. If it's there, make your money.
yeah, we'll
I'm
see
not
how
mad
he
at you.
walks out of AEW this time.
Again, another one, all the talent in the world, and just
It's because he's.
They're gonna put him with Pac again and
doesn't
they'll
eat
both
meat.
leave.
That's why he's an asshole. he's eating cow one of these days.
Yeah, so Austin Aries may be nearing a deal. We'll see how that plays out. Brodus Clay is expected to make a WWE return.
Fuck, nobody needs that.
I heard this and I thought they were joking. I had
No.
to check if it was kayfabe news.
They may be using Brodus Clay to start a new stable after WrestleMania.
What stable do we need? The fucking right wingers? Nobody needs that shit. Nobody needs Isn't he in like the midst of a sexual harassment scandal too?
Nah,
I believe he was. With
Yeah.
whoever his co-host
Yeah.
was.
you know, I don't think they care at this point. But Brodus Clay was at the Performance Center. So was Jeff Hardy. So
Oh.
we'll see how that pays off. So was Sting. There's a lot of people at the
Yeah, I
Performance
feel
Center.
for
a lot.
Jeff. I
Yeah.
really do, because they're going to keep tacking on time for him every time he's hurt, and that's
Yeah.
what they've been doing. And then he's got all his legal problems.
Hurt.
That's a little less to feel for. But yeah, they tack time on every time you're injured, and Matt's contract's actually up. Jeff's has got quite some time on it now.
And now there's interest by the WWE to re-sign Matt because of this
Of
last
course there
week
is.
the ratings spiked
Of course
so
there is.
high. They had the biggest ratings spike this week over the last 2 years in that Matt Hardy Randy Orton segment. So now there's interest from Vince to bring him back, which is why they brought him back this week because last week was supposed to be
But
his last.
because he didn't sign the contract that day is why they didn't get a match out of it.
Yeah. So now Vince is really pushing to re-sign him. I just don't think it happens. You know, you'll probably see
Let
him.
him go. Pay Orton more. Orton's the one doing the fucking heavy lifting on that.
True, yeah. And in final news, just one little note that I found out earlier tonight. Stone Cold is expected to return to Raw on March 16th to... I don't,
316.
316 day.
yeah. So Stone Cold will be returning, and I think they're setting up some kind of
Fast one.
thing. He's not going to wrestle, but they're setting up some kind of gimmick to push that day.
That's-
So yeah, that's it for the wide world of
Like
wrestling
selling
news
his
for this
beer in
week.
stores
All
for
right,
him.
thank you, Hollywood.
As always.
You know, usually I would get into all the GCF business, but we got some time. We talked last week, all that, and we can talk more at the end. But we have the champ on. I'm gonna ask him some stuff, and then we're even gonna show you a match that we talked about. But let's talk about maybe two things here. One, there's a new number one contender coming for you.
Yes.
Just, I'm not even stirring the pot. Just asking here, what's your take on Joey Barone?
Well, I originally had no take because he doesn't interest me in any way. Then he kicked me in the nose, causing my nose to gush out blood. Oh, now you have my full attention, Joey. It's going to be fun.
Yikes.
My take on you is that I think you're a guy who thinks he's just going to walk away with that belt and take me lightly. I earned this belt by hurting people and doing things that not a lot of other wrestlers do. I'm going to hurt you, Joey. What's your next question?
All right. He's talked about there is some history there. Obviously, you guys have fought a couple of times, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that you've never defeated him.
Yeah.
This was the past.
Yeah.
So just can we talk about that? Where are these other companies? Are these one major company involved?
There was this one company that he was champion for, I was facing him for, and this promoter is very non-reputable. Was actually on the People's Court getting sued by another promoter.
Wait, like
Because
Harvey
this
Levin's
guy-
People's Court?
Yeah,
Oh.
this guy is the type of promoter to take the gate pay and run and leave the building before he pays people.
Damn,
Now,
we tried to
is
do
that a
that.
place you want to be champion of? You want to say you were the last champion? You closed the company out, stupid. You weren't a draw.
Damn.
No, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little mad right now because I'm pretending this camera's Joey, and I want to beat the living
Please
crap
don't. This
out
is-
of Joey.
This is a very expensive camera. Don't do it, please.
Joey, you call yourself Mr. Wrestling. Great, who hasn't done that gimmick before? You call yourself Mr. Wrestling. Well, guess what? I'm not going to wrestle you the next time I see you. I'm going to fight you. You made me, sound cliche, bleed my own blood. No, that doesn't fly with me. It will be paid back tenfold. I promise you this. You're going to remember the time you wrestled Chris Cadillac for this title. But honestly, you're going to want to forget.
I don't think I have anything else to ask there.
The man bleed his own blood. Shit, I mean,
Uh,
that's on him.
Alternatively to that situation, you have another situation that happened at the end of the end of the last show. Let's talk DI.
Wait, what do you want to know about them? I have nothing to do with them anymore. Told them to kick
you
rocks.
made that very clear.
He definitely broke up with them last
Told
show.
them to
I
kick
don't know,
rocks.
man.
I was tired of carrying that group. Them riding my coattails. Them going to like VIP rooms with me and Rossi just because they're with me and Rossi.
VIP
When I'm the
rooms?
champ.
Rossi
When
got
I'm the
hookups.
champ. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of just bringing other people along that have nothing to offer. I told them, and you guys know this. You guys sit there and watch the damn shows too. All they have done for me is embarrass me. I was the only one winning matches in that group. Why the hell would you keep people like that around? Why? Sorry, I started off better than you. I've been better than you. I am better than you.
See, you should be the new GM of the Lakers because, like, you make improvements to your squad. Like, you got Terex in place because he's like two people.
See,
so, like,
Terex
he
is my day one.
replaced.
Terex was there when I started training wrestling that day. He is literally my day one. Love that guy. I would do anything for that guy, and that guy would do anything for me. That is brotherhood.
That's a
Not
bad
because
dude.
you dress the same and have long, greasy hair and stuff like that. That's not brotherhood.
But they made shirts together.
Oh, no, man. Oh, they have shirts. Oh, how are those shirts selling, by the way?
They're from the gutters. Ow.
Oh, I see a few of them in the audience. That's because those are your kids.
All right,
we went
I'm
there,
gonna
we
I'm
went
gonna try
there.
and still remain impartial
Shit,
here.
Look,
I'm gonna be the impartial
One
one
of the
as I
kids got
always
a
have
walkie-talkie,
been.
don't they?
One of the owners
Right.
has to be respectful.
Always happen.
You know, I've tried to make up for it. I've tried.
New Year.
New Year,
I tried to
2020.
brush it off.
gotta-
Hollywood, do you have any questions for the champ?
I mean, I would love to know if your mind kind of changed when they, when Helmuth won the UV title. Like, did your mindset change a little bit about, hey, maybe we're stronger now that we have the two biggest belts of this company?
You know what? I thought about it. Part of me was like, okay, we could literally run Buckshot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let's be honest. With their track record, he's probably going to lose that title in no time. In no time.
Mm.
And now that my boy Terex is a contender in the UV division, it's only a matter of time before, again, my group holds all the gold.
Do you have like a name for this group?
Not
Is
yet.
this like,
Not yet. We're working on it, brother. We're working on it. We'll come up with something.
It's like Caddy and the Boys. Or,
Are we
Would you,
50s doo-wop album?
Why not? I mean,
Would you guys mind spitballing some names for the group? I'd be interested.
Or like the Cadillacs.
Why would it be just named after
Just think
me?
it's
See?
I don't
Sue
know.
Bucky.
I mean, why not? Let's see.
No.
I'll get back to you on that. I'll
No.
get back to you on that.
No.
If you have any names in the comments,
Yeah,
please,
comment
by all
down
means.
below.
Always, guys,
Yeah.
comment. You know, we had Q&A open for an entire week, and we'll get to that at the very end here. But I've got about, what,
got 3
7?
questions.
7? So that means you asked a question a
Per
day,
day?
and some days not even that. I think we got lucky and got like 3 one day, and then you just ignored me the rest of the week.
And most of them
Come
are
on.
just comments. We don't want to talk to y'all,
Exactly.
motherfuckers.
And we'll read
Ask
the
us
comments,
questions.
We're not
too,
going to
but-
plug your SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
no.
be like, "Hey GCF." No, that wasn't the point.
Sup? That was a real cool one. Thanks
called-
for the Q&A.
Yeah, it's
It's a question.
hey
Sup?
GCF.
Sup?
I mean,
Word.
well, he did put a question mark. Hey question mark at GCF.
No, it's not hey question mark. It's hey.
Hi.
All right, guys. In the coming weeks, we're gonna focus on like kind of match by match here, and I mean, thank you for the champ, and he's staying on. But I talked about one match even prior to the show. I always claim there's gonna be one that you didn't know was gonna steal a show. I told you outright what one this was, and I was right. Not to take anything away from anyone else to wrestle that night. You all had amazing matches, but let's talk about the debut of Super Beetle. Let's talk about this again.
My God.
But let's show you.
Yeah.
Because what we're going to do now is bring you some, let's call it fan cam footage. It's not the greatest cut yet. We're going to get you a full show later on.
This is
But
fan
right
cam
now,
footage?
we're going
like
to
VR?
take you to
Yeah, I was like,
SoCal
this guy have like
Crazy.
a 4K phone or something.
Yeah, Super Beetle. Let's start that at like the 5-minute mark. Indie wrestling.
There's nothing.
Don't worry, I'm looking at YouTube too.
This is a simulation.
Like you said, this did have the Saint, stamp of approval.
Gotta love Super Beetle.
Oh, absolutely.
Gotta love Super Beetle.
Man's got hips, man.
And they don't lie. Look at him. Look at him go. God, he's so squeaky clean. It's not even funny.
He saw me before the show and said he was a little concerned about my language.
Yeah.
That was my first take on Super Beetle. More power to the kid. But
And the crowd was loving every moment of this.
Oh, SoCal Crazy. Was he in it? No way.
Oh!
I'm
Telling you, man. Ending of Guardians of the
And
Galaxy.
then we're Shut up. You
Yeah,
gotta loosen up.
we're
You
at
gotta
that age-
loosen
we're
up
at that
a
age,
little bit.
you lose your balance trying to do that by yourself.
Gotta get back to that DDP yoga.
Right? Jeez.
Oh,
He just does the
Jeez.
same move, but more furious.
cue the too cool music.
Okay, gotta say, next show, if y'all are letting people dance, you gotta let
Look, even the ref got into
you
it.
gotta let
I don't
Deshaun
know
Castle in the
if Deshaun can
ring.
Keep up with the ref here. Look at this. Oh,
You know it's terrible when Joseph Saint has more rhythm than all three of those people in there.
I never made that claim. Don't hold him to it.
Next week, Joseph St.
On the show.
Joseph Saint dances on the show next week.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
I'm telling you, it was pure fun in the beginning.
Shout
Oh, yeah.
out to
No,
Ref
no,
Big
no.
John.
I heard the crowd. The
Yeah,
crowd
they
was
were
loving
loving this.
See, that I don't get. Like, there's no edge to Super Beetle whatsoever. Like, what? Come on, man.
He's a fighting bug.
I mean, the crowd loved him.
Sweet Manitou, by the way.
It just kept going.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. My goals whenever I'm on the show is to make Saint
Nice
so
arm drag.
uncomfortable at least twice.
And you can tell from the get-go this is going to be back and forth
Ooh.
action.
There we
Oh!
go. Beautiful.
The camera's even shook. Look at that.
Away. Oh. Oh, he did the boop. He did the boop.
Look at this dude.
Lucha.
Oh, he's even dancing on the rope,
Oh man, look at this.
The Undertaker
go.
wish he could do
Dancing
this.
right? Hey, shout out
Oh.
to Delos Ring for being sturdy for that. Shoot, those ropes always make me nervous.
Yeah, because you're in the ring.
All right.
Beetle taking his time.
Ooh.
With a kick and a roll.
Ooh.
Beautiful arm
Look
drag.
at our cameraman.
And this, I booked this because I
Scorsese.
felt we were missing lucha action. And that's what I'm saying. I like to deliver something for everyone at these shows.
Look at this.
Other than wrestling. Go to hell, wrestlers.
Got something for the kitties and Beetle. There you go. Oh, posing.
Oh!
Oh, that's a nice little creep. Do something entertaining, Beetle. Come on. Ah, cut off. Something crazy goes over, hits the
Oh!
ropes.
Oh!
Arm drag, beautiful. I've been on the victim of that before. That sucks. You don't know where he's going. Oh,
Oh!
now the chop.
Smack to the chest. Going back on the apron.
Maybe
Look at that.
crazy. He's not going to wait as long this time.
Whew.
All right, another arm drag.
This is
No,
the
I'm
arm
sorry,
drag
that's
match.
Lucha's arm drag.
Lucha,
There you go.
Nice kick, nice counter.
There we go. Crazy getting mean.
Look at this.
Oh,
that
oh,
was the beautiful
that's what
spot
was-
right
That
there. I
was
remember me and TJ
innovative.
Mark.
I can't even. Was that?
The dancing and all
like
that
a
stuff is
German
fine.
almost.
The dancing, making kids laugh, all that stuff is fine. But at some point, you're going to get punched in the mouth.
No. It was like a sliding German from the ropes.
I know it wasn't a punch in the mouth, Hogan. You don't have to. You don't. I was being figurative.
I mean,
Oh!
this guy's got play-by-play and color down, man.
Oh.
He's-
Super crazy can be vicious when he wants to be. Kind of came out of him a little bit in this match, which is really dope to see.
Yeah, I'm with TJ. This match is missing, our sexy voices calling to action.
Yes.
You have mine and Cadillac right here. It's something that the live fans don't get to hear all
Yeah,
the time.
that's very true. Ah. Chops. I hate chops.
Why'd it have to be?
Why did it have to? Let's see how many movies we can reference in this movie.
Oh,
We haven't dropped any Simpsons references yet.
Oh my god, dude. Right? We always do.
I think at one point in this match, me and TJ both called him Blue Beetle from DC Comics.
There
Just
you
by
go.
accident.
It's easy to do.
Much like saying super crazy during this match.
Yes. You got Super Beetle and SoCal Crazy.
Porta
You
potty
call him
taking
SoCal
damage.
Beetle.
Damn, it's a rental.
Yeah, careful with that, guys. Looks like a new one, too.
We're moving up in the world. You see, I've had a porta potty this show, guys.
I mean,
That's something.
they didn't pick it up till the next morning. Shit.
Okay.
Shout out to that fan that parked behind it. No other parking, buddy? Come on.
Listen, I don't know. It was a packed house. So I get it.
Alright,
Traditional refs.
let's dig his knee in the back. That ref has too much booty cheeks to get on.
Ref too thick, man. Takes up the whole corner.
We're lucky they got to keep their camera.
Nope.
Oh, where's the respect? Was he going to demask him?
No, he was just pulling on the horn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the horn was
It's the source of
targeted a lot in this
Beetle's
match.
power. It's the source of Beetle's power. There we go. There we go, SoCal Crazy. There we go. Get mean. You can't be nice to these guys. Nice is their game. Hey, that looks a lot like something I do. You're welcome.
Infierno's coming with him.
Saints bilingual.
TJ Suave in the comments saying that tug job though.
Dude, we got in so much trouble during this match.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful Hurricanrana. Stay on him, Crazy. Don't John
Yeah,
Jack with the
giving him
fans.
time to
That's
get
what's
back up.
I'm a
Man,
little
come on.
upset that maybe the fans aren't cheering him. Usually they're all behind him.
Mm-hmm. Took way too much time. Look at that. Super kick to the Achilles.
Oh,
Dang, so much dancing. That was a beautiful move, though. That was a beautiful move. Speaking of beautiful.
If that was the AEW announcement, they would have been screaming Crossroads.
now how many JR impersonations did TJ do during the show?
No.
That's what I wait for.
Is that a thing? That's thing.
It's usually chaotic.
I enjoy it.
Again, during this match, it was just crazy fun.
Beetle rolling him over. Yeah, come on. The kick ain't gonna do it. Super Crazy's pretty tough. I've been in the ring with him many times. That guy's got a head harder than a Russian person's head or a Samoan's head or anything like that. Seriously, you can't keep that guy down. Have you ever headbutted a Samoan? Don't do it.
Actually,
Don't do it.
It's not a good idea.
He is dabbing.
Well, even Australians have pretty hard heads too.
That's not a four.
International Cadillac over there.
Oh, bro, Mikey Nichols headbutted me so hard I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah,
Dabbing
another
again.
dab.
Come on, man.
Only one
Wasting
side
time.
got a dab.
Showman.
Had to show it off to both.
That's got to be a 5-count ref. Come on, where you at? This ref is not good.
Not gonna lie.
I mean, he's no referee Lumiere, as TJ was calling.
Lumiere was great.
I don't think
He has the
any-
recovery
I don't
powers of
think any of
Deadpool.
That was fun.
That was great, man. He take a super kick. I
You
tell
know,
you.
Yeah.
refs are too,
Bounced back with
they fall
ease.
down too often.
That was
I
like- that
like
was
to
like-
see one that can recuperate.
That was like
sometimes.
video game
Right.
quality with that recovery, man.
Oh, what's he
Oh,
going
Beatles
for?
up top, Beatles up
Oh!
Yep, Nano toe showing.
Woo.
Oh! Oh!
You gotta get your motivation.
And the crowd goes. Oh!
Mild. Come on, super crazy. Come on, man.
Oof.
At some point,
Nice.
this funny crap has to wear off. Come on.
Back and forth
Striking.
action.
Beautiful strike
Ooh.
exchange. Look at him swinging for the
There we
fences.
go.
There we
This
go.
is what I
So
like to
crazy,
see.
taking back the momentum here.
I think he's throwing off Beatles'
Oh.
momentum,
Oh.
or not.
Oh!
So much running.
Damn!
Back and forth, miss, and
Boom! They each went for a crossbody.
That's when you make the South Park noise, like when Cartman falls. No, seriously, it takes the wind out of you. You have no choice but to make that sound.
we should get the soundboard.
We're working on it. One thing at a time. Most of our money went to the porta potty.
Oh, sweet.
There's a sound.
That's
bite
why I
here.
didn't get paid.
Oh, jeez. Don't let Donnie Suarez hear that. He'll start talking shit again. Fucking faggot.
Hey, stop
Oh, jeez. Can't say that. Sorry.
We're not gonna
What?
stop.
But it, doom,
What was that?
Doom. Sorry. Nobody else heard it.
Oh,
yes. Sorry.
Definitely get a bleep board for
I know. Yeah. My bad.
dipshit owner over here. Bleep.
Baszler says shit on Raw. You think you just drop that on us?
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about that. We should have talked about that.
Absolutely. Ooh!
There we go. Come on, Beetle. Keep losing.
Right there in the corner is the guy who took my job last week.
Yep. Because he bothered to show up. Oh, beautiful.
Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
Whoa.
Oh, look,
Launches
something
him.
new. And
Oof.
two. Ah,
Kick
come
out at
on.
dose.
Usually,
Frustration setting in here. I'm trying to get the crowd going from everybody's going for Super Peel.
Well, it's gotta be frustrating. So
Yeah.
Kyle's used to the crowd being
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
him, and
The tide
what-
changed in
this
this
time
match.
around, yeah.
that's what's got to drive you to get mean, though, man. You gotta get mean. You like can't give these dancers an inch. It'll take a mile.
And then once again attacking the horn.
Yep. Oh, taking the horn to the face a couple times there. Oh, I know T's is gonna comment on that. All right. Eagle coming back.
Now, is that a foreign object? Do I have to look at the rule book for that?
It's a part of his body, so I think we're okay. Oh, who kicks people in the ear?
Can't hear, you can't hit a move. It's gotta distract.
No, that's not true.
He's hoping the ringing is enough to like distract him.
Oh man, shaking on his horn.
He's adjusting it.
Justin the horn.
I mean, you gotta stay sharp.
You gotta make sure it's still
The
The
there.
source of his power.
I see what you did there. That was clever. He's asking for the nunchucks there.
Is that where he stole them from? Back to the showboating.
Oh, yeah.
Lucha Libre at its finest.
The absolute whitest dance moves.
Ooh!
There we go.
There we go.
Ah,
Oh!
Slipped it.
Boom!
Into a DDT.
Beautiful, beautiful. There you go. That should be it. That should be it. That's 2 head injuries right there. Get out of
Ah.
here.
Kick out.
The horn helped him.
There you see, there he goes, Justin again.
You know, reaching for the camera.
Nice camera work as well, zooming in there.
Yes, very good. Do we have this footage for all the matches?
We should. Yeah, I could get.
Give me mine.
I can do that.
No, I want to see if they got my bloody hands.
Absolutely.
From that angle.
Ooh.
Nice roll.
Oh,
Not.
oh, there we go.
Side kick.
There we go.
Oh. Boom.
Good knee to the face.
Oh, the
and the
horn
horn.
comes
See
in
that? Might
again.
get him into play again. I don't know.
We might have to look at that.
Yeah.
That might get him in the UV division.
Oh!
No.
Damn.
Set him up
Ropes,
beautifully
right there.
for that.
Right there, the ropes. Ah,
Should have reached. Gotta know your surroundings there.
You're smarter than that.
That headbutt really changed the tide, though.
Yeah. That,
Oh, wow.
So you might have to
Yeah,
check that.
it took him out completely.
We might have to ask for a hornless mask. Do beetles have horns?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
RJ.
Of some kind.
We know you don't know anything about animals, so let's not ask.
That's a fucking fact. Beetles have horns. Watch a Bug's
Just like it's a
Life.
fact.
Your
Watch
mouth.
a Bug's
Don't
Life.
make
Jeez,
me pull off
fuck, like-
a Declan.
Just like
Just
it's,
because I made one mistake
Just like it's a
about
fact that
walruses
walruses
only
don't
having
have
2
teeth.
teeth. You think I don't know shit about bugs? I know shit about animals, Cadillac.
Cool.
I've been
Now
Now
educated
shut up and
since
let me watch the
6.
match.
Match is fucking over,
Match
Joey.
is going
6.
right there.
Jeez.
We're already roasting RJ.
God.
That's not even over yet.
God, trying to call some
I thought that was the
action
last
here.
segment of
Y'all
the
didn't
show.
even call the fucking match. Y'all just making comments. Y'all didn't call no moves. Y'all didn't say
we did.
shit. Y'all was just
Said
talking about
more
his
than you
horns.
said,
Y'all
RJ.
talking about TJ.
You're way too
and-
triggered for
yes.
Black History Month.
Jesus.
Man.
I'm on edge. for Black History
woke
Month,
him.
That's why.
Someone, what do you say?
It's 28 days of being on edge for me.
All right, guys, there you have it for that match.
He closed it off.
Beautiful. It's a leap year, too. Oh, man.
I wanted to make sure you guys got to see what I saw.
When we
'Cause
came back, RJ wasn't flipping tables and shit,
I'm
and we're
surprised
running.
it's still here. From what I saw, I just wanted you all to see it because
Beautiful match.
I would be very happy to give them a rematch in the future. That match could have gone either way. I know the fans know it. And just something to talk about. Would love to see that one more time. See if it changes at all.
That'd be fun, but we gotta check that horn, man.
Oh,
yeah, that
like Hogan
changed.
said, that headbutt
Yeah,
did everything.
Absolutely.
that was really the beginning of the end there of that match. So
What do you think, RJ?
Man won fair. It's just a mask.
All right. I mean, he used as the weapon, so we'll have to check
Jushin
that.
Liger had horns on his mask.
Yeah, but he wasn't sitting there side headbutting someone.
No.
I mean, I've never watched all of his matches, so I don't know that for sure.
All right. Let's get
Thrilling
into it,
commentary
guys.
by RJ Wallace.
We got about a couple minutes left. Get to the Q&As. Once again, I'm going to, treat our fans poorly here by saying, once again, I left this open for a week. You had a full week to ask us questions.
Dare you not do your homework?
7 questions for 7
Sit
days.
there and you comment, but you never ask us a question. So we'll get right into it with one of them, not a question, like our Jerry alluded to earlier. First one that was not a question is from SoCal Crazy himself.
Oh,
Please tell me he's the one that said sup.
Nope. He said, I want a shot at Caddy. SoCal Crazy.
okay.
Get in line. You just lost the match. Yeah, great momentum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean, I'm gonna say it from a commissioner's perspective here.
And besides, the last time me and him wrestled, I won. So
SoCal, you're a hell of a talent. I would love to see this match, but we do have an order here, and you gotta rack up a few more of those wins. Now, start winning, and I would love to see the match. But right now, we have a number one contender. That's all I'm saying.
He might have to change his game plan up because he's been taking some L's recently
He's-
here at GCF. So he might need to change things up if he wants to get to that point to face Caddy. Just
He's
a
facing like the best of the best here though too.
He had a hell of a match against O'Shea a couple
Mikey
shows
O'Shea.
ago.
if you want to shot the title, you got to beat those guys.
Absolutely. Right now, O'Shea's bitching that he doesn't get a title shot, but he lost fair and square. So
Well, he kind of called me Vince Russo, so fuck.
yeah,
that
well,
guy.
like Barone said, he had a chip on his shoulder that he probably ate.
wow, Joey said something funny and original. That's freaking crazy.
Yikes.
All right, let's see here. Let's get to an actual question.
Actual
Am I lying?
Not at all.
It's probably Cool Ranch. But,
Correct. Ooh, delicious.
I imagine he's more of a nacho guy, but he could surprise.
Mikey O'Shea.
Here's
Maybe
one
it was
for
buffalo chicken flavor.
Here's one for the one. Shout out!
Skip
Once
salsa
again-
verde.
Once
went to-
again, a shout out to those buffalo sliders from the
Oh,
last show.
phenomenal.
We gotta put it on the poster.
Oh man.
Yeah, but the wrestlers all small. Then they're like big buffalo slider. We gotta call our show Buffalo Slider. Just
Buffalo
once.
slider. All right.
Supermania.
This is one for the
Supermania.
wide world audience, and it comes from our social media girl. She simply asks, do you think Seth looks completely heel now that he has that nasty man bun? So are you saying he didn't turn heel completely
What was that?
until he got the nasty man bun going?
Or is she just like implying that he doesn't wash his hair? I don't get it.
I mean, either way.
She's just not a fan of long hair. That's cool. Whatever.
No, just nasty. I think she likes lawn hair. She didn't like the nasty man bun with it. I wouldn't know. But,
Yeah.
I love how Seth is now stealing the Dean Ambrose jackets that he was using before. He
Oh,
left.
absolutely. Rollins
Rollins.
went
Oh, yeah,
heel the
Rollins
minute
is
he opened up his mouth about Punk, and that was before he turned heel. So that's the truth.
Yeah, he did it to himself.
But yeah,
I thought it was when he put on the black glove.
well, there was the story behind that. That was an accident because he broke a finger, and instead of going out there with just one taped up finger, he's just like, "No, give me a glove."
Do you put Vaseline in it?
But I would immediately
You
go
know what
after.
RJ Saturday nights are.
We hang out most of these Saturday nights, Kelly.
Yeah, Vaseline in a glove. Yeah, that's how your night ends.
Let's see here.
Love you.
We like call each other.
Couple more here. Wide world questions. Okay, this kind of goes back to something we were talking shit on earlier. Who has the best spear in the business? Hollywood?
Yeah, I have to think about this one for a little bit. You guys have to give me one because I'm blanking because
All right,
I don't really like anybody's spear really. I thought Rhino's spear was good.
I was
yeah.
gonna say I'm partial to the gore because
Yeah.
it was actually a different looking
Yeah.
spear. RJ,
Uh,
when Edge tries, he's innovative
yeah,
with it.
He could hit
Lex
it,
has
yeah.
had a lot of
Edge's spear
sloppy
is
ones
good.
too.
Edge could
I
hit it.
won't give it to Goldberg ever, and I won't give it to Roman.
the
Definitely won't
Pounce
give it to
count?
Big
No, I
Show.
guess the
The
Pounce
Pounce
is
is
good.
more of a tackle
I was
because of his
just saying, 'cause
shoulders.
I was like, I'll give him to Monty Brown.
Is that Roman up there? Spear.
Who has Aquaman? Yes.
Damn it, you took my
Ca-
joke.
Caddy.
You took my fucking joke, Robert. I was gonna say when he came out with the spear, Kamala. Other than that, no, I don't mean the spear. I mean the
I
spear.
know.
No, but honestly, besides Edge is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Edge's spear is really good.
Lashley
I've
Spears
said
isn't
this
bad.
before, and I'll
How
say it
dare you.
again, and I know I'm gonna catch shit for it if people, hear this. Spears are for people who can't wrestle. That's my opinion.
But there's the Edge.
Yikes.
Edge, with the exception of Edge, that's I just trying to say. Spears are for people who can't wrestle.
That is disrespectful
And-
to Batista.
Rhino was an excellent.
Batista's
Oh, man.
spear was
Rhino
terrible.
is
I
a
know.
great brawler, so I understand still you can make that comment.
Well,
Brittany.
there's a good Spears.
God,
Except
I love
in-
you, Robert.
Except,
God, I
except,
love you.
except in 2007, that wasn't her best year, but
You would still.
I probably would. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Second part of that question.
It beats Vaseline in a glove, that's for sure.
Second part, because the question was who has the best spear? Question mark,
Oh,
and then
jeez.
DDT? Question mark.
wait, what?
So we're going with DDT next.
The best DDT.
Who has the best DDT? It's now again. Depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Raven had a flowing DDT that was nice at the time. Edge had the, but Edge took it from Gangrel if you look back in the
Yeah,
day.
they pick up.
The Impaler DDT was awesome looking.
I'm a big fan of just Arn Anderson's.
Mm.
I'm a big
That's a
fan of
good
Arn
call
Anderson's.
on.
True, Arn's Spinebuster overshadowed his DDT.
No, that I was just gonna say, but I mean, I don't know, it's just there's something about like
Old
not
school.
even Jake the Snake, just
No,
there's something
Jake's
about,
is-
there's something about the classic look of certain moves that like will always draw your eye.
The Rock's DDT was pretty good.
Oh, the float over thing, yeah, that
Yeah.
was dope.
I was just about to say the Rocks. Yes.
You guys should hang out.
Float everything. I'm just like, yeah, Shane did it too, and I didn't like either one of theirs.
Yeah.
Well, somebody comments Baylor's 1916.
Yeah, but yeah,
That one's pretty
I mean,
nice.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a decent one.
All
It
right.
looks vicious every time you do it.
See, I like that, guys. Those are actual questions I like
Yeah.
answering. Ask me wrestling-related questions. Oh, okay. GCF one. Do champions get automatic rematches in GCF? I'll answer this one. No, with a question mark. I'm not just going to grant any champion a rematch. For instance, well, hold on before present company gets mad at me. I'm saying this for other reasons. I can confirm right now, Tony Reyes is not qualified for an automatic rematch.
Oh.
You know, maybe next time don't shove me to the
Just plain not
ground.
qualified.
Just all I'm saying, you went around with Billy Bonds, and Billy Bonds said he can get you anything. Well, one thing he's not getting you is a rematch.
Damn.
Sucks to suck. Stop hanging out with each other.
Or even a title shot.
What can I say if Caddy were to lose his belt? I can confirm that once you've held the title for a certain amount of time, it's almost that you have to give them a rematch. So I would dare say that.
Wait, you can't. Tony pretty much almost held the UV title for.
Who's still champion?
I mean, yeah.
Who's still champion?
He held it for a considerable amount of time.
You're right. They won it on the
So
same
you
day,
can't say he
but his
doesn't
reign is
earn
still
a title
going.
shot,
I can. I just did.
but then turn around and say, "But if you've been a champion for a long
That's
time."
exactly what I just did.
Remember
Bruh.
this comment right now, RJ.
You just contradicted yourself.
No. What his reign is still lasting.
Okay, but
So once
Tony
you hit a
still had
certain
a pretty
point, yeah. Well,
lengthy reign,
and
and if he didn't get cashed in on, he'd still be champion.
he absolutely would. And if he had continued that reign, I would probably give him a title match or a rematch. But he hit the point. One champ is still reigning. They both won on the same days. His current reign is continuing. Tony's came to an end.
I think you're getting real Cody Rhodes with your rules here. Like,
I'm not switching
they don't really
anything.
adding up.
Rewind the footage. You can hear what I said.
No,
And I mean,
not only
Billy
that-
Bonds is
not-
the one
not only that,
promising
but
it.
I feel like I wouldn't get a title rematch because you guys are very up and down. You didn't give the first champion a rematch. You gave the second champion a rematch.
First champion
against
kind
me
of fucked himself out.
3
of that,
times.
though.
Now hold on. Now
3 times.
I
My
never-
belt was on the line each damn time, not his.
Those weren't. We didn't grant Vintage a
That's
rematch. You accepted his challenge. I'm straight up with that. If the first champ wanted the rematch, he knows where to find us.
I mean, we're just not gonna pay him his rate.
Period.
Damn it! You just opened a door you're not gonna want to open.
He knows where to find us. Tony knows where to find me if he's got a problem. Billy, I dare you to come with him. All right. Sour grapes, my ass. Oh, piece of shit. All right.
Nice.
No, he's always
Let's
watching.
see here. Looks like we got 2 more.
He
Oh.
said Tony built that.
Do you think DI will get involved with the main event of Maximum Carnage? You know what? First of all, I applaud you for the question because it means that you've done your research. You're
Following the
asking
product.
about, you're asking about the ending to our last show, and you're asking about Maximum Carnage of all events was one that was heavily DI. Last year, they destroyed everything they could get their hands on, me included. Do I think they'll get involved in the main event? I hope not, for all parties involved.
If they know what's good for them, they won't. But I would. I've done it. I would.
I mean, so
I'll
you're
probably see you guys out there.
talking about
So
opening doors.
yeah, I was like, is that antagonizing them? Like,
Huh?
they already like don't listen to authority. Like, they feel like they can just do whatever they want.
Oh yeah, and that's the way I felt too. But the difference was I can do.
That's
whatever
why
I
you were
want.
such a great leader of the team.
Yeah,
what are they
I
gonna
was.
do without you?
but that was one of the things also that
But
caused
that-
the problem. Everyone that was saying you were the leader, they're
wanna be a leader
going
of my
around
team.
saying that there
Come
is no
on,
leader
you
in
knew he was the
DI.
leader.
Come on.
But that caused a rift.
Again, I'm not my place, and it's done. It's
Yeah.
done. Ish, I guess. But you just invited them.
Door's a little open.
Yeah,
you know.
just told him to come back.
I hope they do. I have a plan. I have a plan for everything. I always
All right.
have a plan.
All right. And the finale here. When's the next show? I wish I could tell you that we're coming to you in a month from now, but spoiler alert, when you have a roster as good as ours that we put together, sometimes other companies like to book them all out from under you. So March is a little booked right now, guys. April 11th, keep that in your calendars. April 11th, Maximum Carnage.
Really upset.
Electric Boogaloo.
Second annual.
Catching on, electric, but this time it's even carnagier.
This time, it's for
We
money.
don't say that.
This time it's for money.
So there you have it, guys. Keep your April open. That's when you'll see GCF next. However, you never know what companies GCF might show up to in the time being. I've got a fighting champion. Just saying.
You're not going to 3PW.
Going where?
Exactly.
All right, guys.
Or Barstow. If they try to message you, you ain't going. Shit.
So I'm not allowed to fire shots, but RJ can fire shots everywhere. All right, we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
I'm just saying.
Guys, we actually went to the time this time. Good for
Let's
us.
go.
I don't know about you, but I love having the champ here. You know, I love that we brushed the past to the past.
I love that you look like Prince's accountant.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. You know, I'm just saying.
Wait,
slander real quick.
Prince Ayakea or Prince?
Both. Didn't he do the artist formerly known as Prince Ayakea? That's what I'm saying. Both.
Personally, I would have said Elton John's producer, but
Yeah.
Take them all.
He looks more like an accountant. Have you seen anything he's produced? Terrible.
Whoa! Take that back. All right, guys. Champ, thank you for joining us.
Any and every time.
Hollywood, thank you as always.
Always.
RJ, I think we gotta talk. God, man, you're getting real upset with me lately.
Probably get a call from Declan again, man.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All
you
right.
better calm down or we'll call Declan.
What he said. All right, guys. Till next time, leave it on the mat, or you're just another mark. See you next time.
Right behind Ramshoffen, leapfrog by Mosses. Ah!